or a PhD from, do they pronounce the school ENS, Hadrian, or is it ENS? They pronounce it ENS. Or is, I don't know, there might be different French pronunciation of those letters. Anyway, Makoto, I'll let you pass it over to you.
Yeah, so this is the fourth and the last. And I'll also pass it to Chantel. No, I did. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, Alicia already did. Okay. Can you guys see the slide?
Not yet.
Oh, you cannot see the slide. How about I not share it? I did not share the slide, sorry.
Makoto, before we go to the presenters, can I just say something real quick?
Sure.
Okay. So a vision that we've always had for ENS, right, is that, so ENS is this open public protocol, and we want like dApps, like all dApps to use it so that it's your identity, it's for sending, it's for all these things, right? So there's that. But then there's also this other category of like maybe services that are like more ENS specific, like trying to make it easier for people to use ENS. And we've always wanted there to be an industry of that. Like we're not like building everything. We're just like helping to like do the protocol, but we want there to be an industry. And I will say that I have created a list of about 24 investors, both private investors and ones from big venture capital firms, who are interested in investing in ENS like ecosystem companies. Like they've said, hey, we want to invest in ENS. I say, hey, you can't do that. It's a protocol. But you could invest in ENS ecosystem companies. So people are interested. I just want to put that out there for people who are presenting, people who are listening, that there are people looking for this. Anyway, there you go.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the last session. So like until I think 2017, Nick did everything. Since then, I've been kind of running all these shows. But now there's a professional one, better one. Let me introduce Alicia is, and then now she will take us to this show and tell from now on. So hand it over to you, Alicia.
Okay, thanks, Makoto. I'm Alicia Eve, and I'm really excited to, mod this show and tell session. So we have some teams or builders that have come out of the ETH Global Hackathon or just are also building in the kind of ENS community. And so in terms of what will happen today and what is up for grabs, Makoto, if we just go to the next slide. Yeah, so we're doing 3-minute pitches and a couple of minutes for Q&A, and there'll be $1,000 for the $1,000 prize for the winning project. And so after this, there will be a link to vote on Snapshot, and I will also just post the discuss link here because that's got a link there too. I can also probably just post a link to it as well. So we'll do that. So I wonder if we could kick it off with Nifty Chat and Slovo.e.
Let me stop it so you can share now.
Hi, everybody. Let me just start the screen share. All right, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Great. So before I get started, I just want to thank everyone for the opportunity for me to present here, and really like the workshop so far. And I'm Alex, also known as Slobo.eth, and I'm here to present Nifty Chat. The way I'm going to go about this is I'm going to kind of highlight the problem space I'm trying to solve and how ENS is the key component with a short little demo at the end of it. So I'm going to get started. So welcome to Nifty Chat, Connect to Chat. I kind of thought about this because I joined a bunch of online communities and they all kind of sucked because of, not because of the people, but because of the bots, the fraud, and the imposters. Kind of little call out here to Alicia. She got impersonated maybe a week or two ago where she had to basically post to everybody, hey, if I'm DMing you, I'm not actually who I say I am. And I think the main reason for that is because it's very easy to create identities in Discord and other forums, but I actually think that ENS and the Ethereum community solves this. So, and the reason for that is this. The reason for that is, though we don't know who you are, we know everything about your wallet. So I kind of look at what data was available that's connected to slobo.eth. And I'm like, I'm active, I buy NFTs, I have tokens like the ERC token for the Ethereum, for ERC 721 for ENS. And it kind of just made sense to me that I should create a chatting service for this. And here it is. This is Nifty chat prototype proof of concept. I'm gonna log in with my account. This is my empty kind of burner account. It validates that I am who I say I am. And here we are. It shows me just a very bare bones kind of chatting app, right? We can all say hi and it works. And I'm chatting exactly from my wallet address. But because this account has nothing, it doesn't even have an ENS. I'm just chatting from my wallet, whereas and it kind of lets me know that I'm missing ENS and kind of links out here. All right, so that's the experience for those that do not have a ENS. Now I'm going to log in with my actual account that has value in it, has a little bit of ETH, and it's also connected to my ENS. And I'm sure, okay. I forgot I have to sign. Sorry about that. Okay, so a couple things to note here is now I have a much more connected profile that's pulling data from ENS. It's got my slobo.eth. It's got my NFTs that are kind of first-class citizens. It's got more rooms that are kind of auto-curated based on the fact that I have ENS. And I can say hi, chat here, and chat with other folks who also possess the same ERC 21 tokens, sorry, 721 tokens. And that way we kind of have a community of people where it's already kind of validated. And then the last room I want to highlight is, because I have a little bit of ETH, there's a room where only people with a little bit of ETH can participate. And I think that would help. There we go. We have a chatter here. We have a room where, there we go. Yeah, people are chatting here. So this is how it looks. And I'm going to just open it up to questions. Hopefully I'm not going too long here. And, oh, oops, I didn't need to do that.
Hey, sorry, I don't know if you already said this, but is this available open source?
This is not currently open source. I'm still like developing it. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to stop the share.
When in production? When production?
That's just going to depend. I obviously need to like hire a team and build out a lot of basic features, but my guess is 3 to 6 months.
Amazing. I'll just say to you and for anyone else too, anything that you put in production with an ENS integration, let us know. We'll put your logo and link on our website. We're happy to retweet anything that shows it off. So always let us know. Yeah,
I appreciate that, Brentley. And Brentley actually joined and looked at it earlier, so I appreciate that as well.
Awesome. Love it.
Just one question. You are showing the NFT you own, but if you click any member, for example, Jeff, does it also show Jeff someone else's NFT?
Yeah. So what I have currently no, but that's one of the first features I'm already building, where you kind of hover over and I see your trophy case. This is still in the proof of concept stage, so there's a lot of little things that need to be cleaned up to make it a true MVP kind of product that's available to be stress tested.
Yeah, I thought it was very cool. I really like it. You're using sign in with Ethereum there, right? So it's the standard.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just, yeah, it's sort of like, and I think the key thing is your identity is your ENS, and there's no way to get a username except for to buy it on ENS. And I think that makes it that I'm not managing your identities per se. You're managing your identities. I'm just letting you have additional functionality with something you already have done.
What's your vision for NFT chat? How do you see it? Do you see it as like something like a Discord competitor, or is it more like a private messaging thing like Telegram or something like that? Or what are you thinking?
Discord killer for crypto communities.
Cool, very cool.
Love it. I think I might have mentioned this to you privately when you showed it to me. The avatar support would also be awesome here.
Yep, and I want to be able to select like either off of your ENS or for the specific NFT communities that you know, like if you're a Bored Ape, you probably want to show off your Bored Ape in the Bored Ape community.
What are your plans for the back end? Are you thinking of using decentralized architecture for that, or is it going to be more of a centralized thing?
I'm going to start with as much Web 2.0 technology as I can and use the Web 3 for the things I need to use. And over time, depending on what the community feedback is and what kind of the business value proposition is, I'm going to evolve it. Like, I don't know what I don't know, but I want to listen to the people who are eventually going to use it and create a product that's just better for everybody.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think it makes sense to do that. I was an early user of Status like back in the day, and they were terrible for years. So I'm not a Web3 maximalist. I think like we should use it where it makes sense. So I think it makes sense that you're doing that for this kind of application and use the bits that make sense like ENS and sign in with Ethereum.
Thank you.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Alex. Nifty Chat is really exciting. I know that when Kevin validated.eth and I jumped into it, we were really excited. And so that's great. Next up, we have prem.eth with ethhandle.com. Oh, you're just muted, Prem.
Unmute. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, great. All right. So I've been involved in ENS, I don't know, about 5 months now. I think after the Beeple sale, I'm involved in the art world and in design. And after the Beeple sale, I kind of recognized there was a big change in the world. Obviously, it very quickly materialized, that change with the NFT craze. But I got really interested in Web3. And I also quickly realized that Web3 had a problem. And so ETH Handle seeks to solve the most basic problem, which is that file names don't have easy ways of being shared without basically an ENS or an ES subdomain. So I'll share my screen here. There's just my splash screen. So you have my information.
I don't see it.
Thank you. Okay. Let's do screen share. Okay. Can you see that?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So there's just that, just so you have the basic information. And then let me just show you the app that I've been working on. So this is ETH Handle. ETH Handle seeks to solve a simple problem, which is to take you and your file and give you a .eth. And I wanted to try to make it as simple as possible. I was trying to think, how could this be done as simple as possible, make it as straightforward as possible, so that basically you can imagine, say, a Twitter link. If you get a Twitter link and someone says, hey, you should get your .eth, and you just get sent over to something that just makes it as dead simple as possible. So here, you basically can just start typing right here, and you can get your .eth. But it also works for files. So then I have, this is identity. So a couple addresses you could add as a primary domain for your subdomain for identity. But I also have for images, video, sound, some payment addresses. So this is, I guess, what's generally called whitelisting. So we would whitelist, I'm whitelisting different domains. And then I have some more here like file storage. So this is actually a fork of the ENS app. So basically everything in ENS app should work here, except I took out a lot of the functionality. So it's just basically the same thing. I just cleaned it up a little bit. And if I'm connected over here, I can click register, just like on the normal app. I can also use these different suggestions. So I can do this. I can do this. Now, this is the one thing that's not implemented yet, but I'm very interested to know how the wrapper is going to work, because I'd like to be able to just have everything in one interface. So there really doesn't have to be a separate website where people go to register subdomains or anything. It's just basically exactly the same. If this img.eth was set up as a wrapped and set up for subdomains to sell subdomains or issue subdomains, then people could just reserve it right here. But it's not currently functioning like that right now. But so that's basically it. There's some information that will be put down here. There's mostly boilerplate now, but yeah, just trying to make the registration process as easy as possible, and then showing the example of really what the solution is, which is taking these long, complicated CIDs or addresses and turning them into .eths.
Wow, that's incredible. That's really exciting.
Love it.
Yeah, love it. And it's actually really useful just seeing like image, video, sound, payment. I think it really helps contextualize the possibilities of like the use cases for a .eth. So any questions from the audience for Prem?
Yeah, I've got so this is great. And I love this because it's like another use case for ENS, right? So, which is important. So like ENS can name people, but it can name anything, right? It can name smart contracts. And in this case, it can name files. This is like brilliant. And ENS is just naming for anything. I love this. So yeah, this is great.
Sorry, actually, I'm a bit confused. So is this basically a subdomain registrar where the domain names are categorized by the type? So like if it's image, you have some kind of precious name like IMG, PSD, and this one is basically selling these subdomains for these names. Is it basically what it's trying to do?
Well, again, the idea of registering subdomains is still, very much in flux right now. I mean, you guys presented today about it, so I want to implement it. But I currently hold all these names, so that means I can register all these names. I hold.
So I guess I'm just trying to figure out image.is, you are basically selling the subdomain for image.is.
Yeah.
But it's not really anything to do with the actual image itself, but it's just like you have the name which associated with images.
Well, no, because you can set it as the IPFS.
Yeah, but
right.
You can also do that with a sound or video related one as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really categorized by the functionality. It's just like you're categorizing the name to these categories.
My assumption is that basically every image and every sound clip and every video in Web3 is going to have a .eth. So people need to be able to get those, pick those up. And so I want to build as easy an on-ramp for people to take one image, one sound file, one video file, and just get a subdomain for that, so they can share it in a more flexible way than with, say, with the IPFS CID, or as you can get file names to be at the end of an IPFS CID. Like if you pin a folder, and then you can actually see those file names. But any other way, you just have these CIDs, which are very hard to read and understand.
Okay.
Yes, this is great. I mean, to me, like the broader concept is like ENS as shared database, right? So it's like, right, the file naming system of Web3 just like is ENS.
Right, and it's timing too, because Chainlink just bought data.eth, and they want to use that as their method for doing their oracles.
Right,
so
they
they're
actually
kind of,
already do it.
Right, but I mean, it was recent. Didn't that transaction happen recently? I think, but
no, they've had that stuff for a while.
Okay, I just noticed it recently myself. But my point is, that's the method they want to connect to their oracles. So they basically are providing data. So my assumption is that all data will be like that.
I mean, that's pretty cool. It sounds like it's kind of like Imager or like Bitly for link shortening, that kind of thing. And you kind of come to this interface, you just add in your data, you choose the subdomain you want, and there'll be like a wizard that just kind of connects it all up, sends your transaction, and then gets it done for you. And then at the end, you just have the subdomain with the file already uploaded. And it's kind of like coming at ENS from a different angle. Does that make sense? Is that what it is?
Well, I think the challenge is to create an interface which accommodates more than just, say, a link shortener. Because like if you have a link shortener, it's a very simple website. You go there, there's only one field. You type in your URL, you get a link, a shortener link, a URL. And in this case, I was trying to build an interface that does more than just link shortening, also does identity, and this was my design solution.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like a mix of a link shortener, like Imager, that kind of thing, where it's kind of a wizard to kind of get you to basically a link to host your stuff as well.
Yeah, I'm imagining it's like a Twitter link. So it's on Twitter. Somebody says, "Yeah, this is how you do it." People are confused. They don't know how to do it. So you come from Twitter and then you just get here, and it tries to be as simple as possible to explain with this field that you're taking these CIDs and you're turning or Ethereum addresses and turning them into .eth.
Cool.
Yeah, I think this is really cool. I think this has huge implications, just because like some people might see it as being similar, but I see it as totally changing the way that people are going to see ENS, right? Because just like I think you were saying with your thesis of creating this, it changes it from being a personal identity to an identity for each of the file. Every file on their computer, right, is going to have an address. And I think needless to say, one of the huge strengths is that you have the matching premium ENS names, which fit the use case perfectly. And it just bridges what people are already familiar with this new Web3 identity for files. And I guess like in a version 2 almost, like like with all the PFP projects out there, it's just, I can imagine how this could scale to provide a premium sort of service for people.
Well, and reducing costs too. I mean, the subdomains could be much less expensive.
Yeah, cool. Thank you so much, Prem. This is really, really exciting. And I wonder if we could move on now to Millen with ENS Gallery.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoops.
Also, Prem, are you able to stop sharing and then we can...
Cool, okay. I'll try to share my screen then.
Cool.
All right. So hi everyone. I've participated recently in the ETH online hackathon, and this was my application, which I called ENS Gallery. Whoops. Okay. So it's a gallery view of all your NFTs that you might own. And it's connected to an ENS domain. So the idea behind it is that if you own anon.eth, you can create a subdomain, say gallery.anon.eth. And as long as you connect it to the application, which is living in this URL on Skynet or SEA Sky, it will automatically create a gallery view of all the NFTs that are in the wallet that's connected to your ENS domain. So the way I think about this is almost like installing an app from an app store. Just like add this URL to the subdomain, and it should automatically work. I'll try to demo that now. So the way I think about it or like I want that to have two different kind of ways how you can access it. One would be I want to buy an ENS domain for itself, so you can check other people's gallery as well. But also, if you just install it on your own ENS domain, this is what you would see. So we can try like nick.eth and load gallery. I'm using NFT port, which is like a NFT indexer, and that way that's how I can get all these images. And so now you can see all the NFTs that Nick has in his wallet. And
it stopped screen sharing.
Oh crap! Sorry.
That's okay.
Where is this? Okay, yeah. So let's try again then. I'll refresh. So, well, as you can see, this is now, I'm accessing this now on the Saska URL, but if we go to nick.eth, and if Nick would install it on his domain, this is like what he would see, or like what everyone would see on the gallery.nick.eth, which is just a grid view of all the NFTs so far. Yeah, the code is it's open source and it's available on my GitHub. I need to work on the documentation a little bit more, so I haven't had the time to write a proper README, but you can check it out if you want. Yeah, and that's pretty much it.
So we'll open it up to questions.
Am I able to be heard?
Yes, Norman, go ahead.
Hi, I have a comment on the three presentations. The first one was a chat function, and that was, I didn't understand the use case of it other than just a separate thing from Twitter. I don't know if he looked at Keepeth, which was another old one. It never got developed much. The second one, I'm curious about the costs of all those different ETH subdomains to create every cost on every file that you want to use. And then the third one, is there any difference between that and just looking up nick.eth on OpenSea or something else like that that already exists?
Okay, I can, I guess, address the last one. So I think you need to like list some of the NFTs you own on OpenSea for it then to be available. I'm not really sure, but I didn't really check that. I just wanted to create this as a project. I wanted to have it for myself, so that's why I built it.
Yeah, I like that. I'd like to get that link, and I'll look on your GitHub to get it.
Yeah, on the cost of the subdomains, yeah, so on our layer 2 session earlier today, the CCPI read will make it so you can create subdomains on L2s, or really actually any off L1 location. So it could even be like server. So it should make the creation and management of subdomains and their records either low cost or zero cost. But yes, doing this all on Ethereum L1 would obviously be would be prohibitively expensive to do this at scale.
Okay, looking forward to that.
Great. Okay. And next up we have, did we say link ends with 0x Charter?
Yeah. Cool. Let me just share my screen. All right. This is Lincoln's. It's a link aggregator website. I kind of pulled the idea off an idea list from ENS. So if you have heard of Linktree, this is what Linktree is, and I'm kind of just copying it. It's links with arbitrary descriptions and then all your social links. So we'll just jump into it and I'll kind of walk through. So we're going to choose a subdomain. We'll just make sure it's available. Sorry, this was for a hackathon, so the interface is rough. We'll just grab ourselves a CID. So we can set all of our social handles and our avatar. Go over, and we're going to see that we're going to deploy the subdomain and we're going to update these text records in ENS. So just hit save and it's going to crack open the wallet. And we'll confirm that. So while that's happening, I'll kind of walk you through what's going on in the background. We're taking this subdomain here and we're passing it off to a serverless function. That serverless function is generating an HTML file and hard coding that subdomain. And then from there, it's deploying it onto IPFS using web3.storage. And then we go back to ENS. And there's definitely like potential race scenarios here, but we're going to add the content hash to this record, and as well as the text records are going to get updated. So we should see it here. I don't know. This has been happening all day. I think maybe there's been a change somewhere, but let's just open up the IPFS. I'll show it real quick. Anytime now. Sorry, that can be slow to load. So what's happening is we're going to kind of like overall flow here, going through IPFS gateway. We've got the Lincoln's app is also running on IPFS. It calls that serverless function, which then deploys to IPFS and then does the update to ENS. So just going to rerun to that. So you can see here, page has been deployed. It's got our social links and the avatar. And it's all very constrained because hackathon and I was lazy and didn't want to do things generally. Yeah, I think that's it.
Amazing. So Chasha, where will this display? Like, where would you then, what would be the link that you would post to for someone else to land at this page?
Cool. So on mainnet, you can actually post this link. As long as you have MetaMask installed, it'll work in your browser. Does not work on Ropsten.
Yep, and of course, like .link or .limo or in Brave, Opera, all these places. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I realized as well. I think this is like one of the really obvious use cases for ENS, and you made it pretty easy to just kind of go off and do it on a serverless function to deploy the website and then also update all of the ENS records at the same time. So yeah, really well done.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm a bit insane and I really want to make it all decentralized. So that was my initial one, was to get rid of the serverless function and do IPFS from IPFS, but it didn't work so well. I'll figure it out one day.
Do you have any plans to turn this from a hackathon project into like, you know, a startup or something?
Yeah, I don't know about startup, but I'm definitely going to go to production with it. I started the redesign last week after the hackathon. I'll probably have a roadmap up on GitHub this week.
Amazing. It's really exciting. Thank you so much, Shadra. And our final presentation, Makoto, I was just moving down the list, but I just want to confirm, is amafans.eth next?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. Oh, CJ, we just can't hear you that well if you're talking. But you are unmuted, but we just can't hear.
Hello.
It's really, really quiet.
Yeah, I can hear you very quietly.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah,
Hello?
but with a bit of static, but yes.
Okay, I'm so sorry for that. Yeah, I guess I have to go with this.
think that's
Yeah.
better.
Okay. I'll start. So hi, I'm CJ. I'm the co-founder of AMA Fans, and I'll just start sharing my screen. Yeah. So AMA Fans is a communication platform which uses the Ethereum services such as ENS and ENS subdomain and smart contracts, and we stored a data on IPFS. So I'll just go to my friends. So it's a communication platform. You need to reach your favorite people on internet. So what the problems we face with the Web 2 is like with the mails. Everyone can reach you and can spam you. You don't know the reputation of the person who is contacting you, and so that's where we get started. And now we are now turning to a platform for a one-to-one communication, for like serious communication. So we have like on the Twitter and other platform, we have a lack of feedback loop of influencer, and we don't have to we can't identify if the other person is how serious they are. So we try to create a decentralized platform, so where you can ask anything about anything from the other person, and which with and you have to attach some amount of Ethereum to that, so to show your seriousness, and all your interactions will be micro recorded on the platform, like on contracts. So it will create a ledger of your interactions on the community side, that will create a repo of your reputation of your usage. So the features we have are like, first we on the first go, we will onboard Twitter users. So like in the first slide we show Alicia, someone was impersonating you, right? And yeah, here you can onboard with your Twitter account, and we'll create your ENS subdomain with our platform, and with the help of Chainlink. And now if someone to reach you, or they have to attach some kind of amount, that will help you to ascertain that how serious this person is, what's the reputation of this user is. And on basis of the communication, they can create a NFT of it. So I'll just show you how it works. So I'm CJ. I'll attach a crypto with a message, which will be stored in the smart contract. And if I have to contact Vitalik to it, if he deletes the message, my money will return back to me. Otherwise, if he replies to it, he claims the attached ETH, which I was supposed to give him for taking his time to read my message and do it. And based on the conversation, I can create an NFT out of it and share it on my platform, which other users can look at or like buy it. And also royalties will be shared on every sell and purchase. And the one thing is, if like Vitalik can put some minimum amount which a person needs to attach the Ethereum to it. So not a whole bunch of 1,000 people can reach to him. Only few bunch of he will see few messages on his inbox with the most serious people contacting to him. So we have our proof of concept working here in AMA.fans. So okay, I have no mail yet. So I can show you my friend sent me a message with an Ethereum attached 0.001, and I have already claimed this Ethereum and read this message, which is now this Ethereum is saved here in my account, and I can withdraw it. And as you can see on the right side, this is my reputation on the platform. So how many messages I have claimed, deleted, replaced, get replaced. So if someone sends me some messages and they are getting replaced, or I send some messages to someone and they are getting replaced by a higher bidder, so this will be shown in my reputation, and this is available to everyone. So I can see how much value I have spent on to connect with people, to request questions. Yeah, and here you can set a minimum amount here, like so. So if someone has to reach me, they have to at least send me this amount in order to reach me. So right now we are just using the Ethereum addresses from wallets, but in further iterations which are tested, and we will launching it this November end, we will use ENS name. So yes, that your name which we will get from that your Twitter username, which will ensure that your Web2 identities come along with the here, and so you don't have to start from scratch. And yes, that will help creating a better sync with the reputations. So yeah, that's from of AMA fans.
Cool. Thank you, CJ. I can definitely see when you're talking about it, I think of Cameo app and how there is like a price to get like Snoop Dogg to send a birthday message and stuff like that. And that was like really missing in Web2. So thinking of like the Web3 version of that is really exciting. I wonder if there are any quick questions for CJ or comments.
You can reach out to us on Twitter. I will stop sharing us.
Cool. Okay, Makoto, do you want to give us an update on the voting?
Yeah, there's a bit of disaster. So let me, I think I'm rectifying right now. Hold on. Yes, so let me just share it back again. So. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, so thank you very much for the presentation. So like, yeah, as we initially said, we're gonna do the voting, and based on that, one project gets 1,000. However, there's a slight hiccup. Initially, I said votes on snapshot. So a day before, well, I think today, I actually created a snapshot in advance so that we can start. And I was assuming that most people just only hear about this, then votes. But when first talk was going, I was checking the snapshot voting, and there's already kind of DDoS attack that over 1,000 votes, even the first talk was going on. So clearly, people going for whatever the reason, just the attacking that. So this voting is not working. And also, because it doesn't shuffle, I think someone tried to, because I think we tried to do the POP, and people trying to do POP mining or something. So yeah. I'm not going to use snapshot. So instead, sorry for the last minute change, but I think it's fair because I did check when Slobo was pitching, and Slobo was already winning by 1,000, which is not fair to the rest of the team at all. So it's a less decentralized or immutable way, but we haven't announced how to get POP, but like basically POP, we're gonna give to whoever fills in the basically the post-event survey, which we're going to post on our Discord channel on the show and tell section, which I think only you can join if you have ETH name set and if you do the Cloudland stuff. So people just don't jump in and claim it. Then there in the form section, there's a questionnaires, which I would like you to fill in. And depending on that, whether you join as a Zoom call or YouTube, we get different badges, either participants or attendants. But as an optional field, we also have the last section where this is optional, where pick the winners. So these number corresponded with the order, but Google form is better than Snapshot that it shuffles every time people see it. So it's not like everybody just, even if people just do like top, should still be equal. So it's slightly better than just using Snapshot. So
Yeah, hold on a second, Makoto.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this too. So because you have it gated, so only people with ENS primary name set can vote,
Yeah.
correct? So even with that gate, these are all different accounts with that, and you see like tons and tons of. So
Yeah.
somebody has like set up 1,000 Ethereum accounts, each with their own ENS name, with the primary ENS name sets. Is that what we're saying here?
possibly.
I think this is
Possibly this
also
is-
why POAP just
yeah.
changed they just are like undergoing a massive change, and they
Yeah.
closed everything down to everyone because there was like such intensive POAP mining going and POAP
No,
farming going
I'm
on.
just saying I'm impressed by someone who successfully set this up. Like think like
Yeah.
on-chain costs to have 1,000 Ethereum accounts, each with their own ENS name with the primary ENS name set. Like wow.
I'm
Snap-
so glad that like initially, so Snapshot has a special plugin so that if you vote, you can automatically mine POP. I only didn't do that because that change requires Nick to sign, and he was asleep. So I thought like screw it, I'll just give it to everybody else. Then just in the first, I think second speaker, I just double checking, and I just was shocked. So I'm sorry I didn't pay much attention of everybody's pitch, but I'm sure everybody else saw it. So I'm going to move to basically now I'll hand it back to Alicia. But I'll post the form to the Discord channel so we can carry on. And
Wait.
probably will take 1 day or something for the voting period.
Makoto, I wonder if you could just wait 1 second. I'm just going to quickly change the permissions on the show and tell so that you can only read the messages if you are at least a .eth verified member. So just so that, I don't know, in case people spam it. So I'll just remove messages.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Yeah, I didn't see this coming because we did the Snapshot back in May. That was way more organic, I think. We
Yes, it
corrected
was.
2,000 addresses over months.
Right.
Today, we got 1,000 votes in less than half a day. It's fascinating how quickly all these things change. Like whatever gameable came very, very, very quickly. Yeah, this is fascinating anyway. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll just stop the share now.
Cool. So if you are not in the Discord and you're in this Zoom call, please head over to discord.gg/ENS and sign up. And then you can jump into the join channel and type join. It will use Collabland to connect to your wallet to verify that you have an ENS name, like a .eth in your wallet. And then you'll be able to vote. But also, if you're here and you're on Discord and you're having any trouble, feel free to DM me on Discord or on Twitter and Future Alicia. If anyone has any trouble. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who presented. This is really great. It's so exciting to see how other people in the community and the ecosystem are building with ENS. And I feel like every time I see projects that are building in the space, it just cracks something else open in terms of an ENS use case. And it's really exciting. So thank you all so much. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you guys.
Okay, we'll see you in Discord. Is that okay, Makoto?
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Keep building.